Hey, welcome to Trading Crypto this week, where it's red and it's boring and it's horrible. Anyway, I think I've successfully attracted every mentally retarded person on the internet today to reply to me, which is winning. It's a full moon, by the way, so all the crazies are out. It's been fun. Anyway, let's get into crypto. So apparently you guys all get really shitty when the market goes red and you guys are the wrong way. And if you were in spot, you would have been sitting on your hands. And if not, you would have had small trades. And if you're in getting started in crypto and WEX, which is here, there, you would have free signals. So that's what you want to do. You want to head to gettingstartedincrypto.com and sign up for our free scalp signals. During this downturn, we made 35% on this. Just it's scalping, so it's not the whole way. We go in and out, bullish, bearish. So yeah, this last move down 35%. So they're quite conservative. We're not, your moon boys. Obviously, I'm a girl. So we're not going to, you're not going to get like 500 times, 400 times. That's just not going to happen. So it's conservative. So head here. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? No volume. What the hell? I don't know what's happening then. You can hear me now. Well, I don't know what happened because I didn't touch anything. So it's just randomly come back on. So you missed my complaining about all the retards on X. So let me go back. Let's go back to the beginning. Hang on. Let me get rid of this. Removing this. And you can hear me because today I need to tell you guys that literally it's full moon in Leo. So, but literally every retard on crypto Twitter, on X, on Threads, on everywhere today has found me. Just thought I'd share that with you. There's a lot of like really opinionated people in the world. I'm pretty opinionated myself, but there's a lot of I've discovered on X, since X is not suppressed anymore, that the majority of men in crypto, hopefully that's none of you guys here, think women should be at home just looking after children. And yeah, I've had children, but I worked the whole time. And I think women should be able to do what women want to do, not what a man wants you to do. So there's my 2 cents. And that's what I was having a whinge about at the start. So that's probably why the world muted me, but you got to hear it anyway. So yeah. And it's apparently all you guys get a bit angry and emotional when the market gets red. So there goes my line again from Coin Runners. Men are emotional about money and women are emotional about love. So that's just how it works. I don't make the rules. I don't make it. So it's like you guys are all really emotional or something today because and it's a full moon, which is not helping anything at the moment. So anyway, let's go back to this. So since I had no sound and now I've got sound and I've got more viewers. Don't forget that you can head to Getting Started in Crypto and you can get free scalp signals. If you don't want to pay for signals, all you have to do is sign up to GSIC and join WeX via the link that you'll get on this page, Getting Started in Crypto. Head to the free scalp signals tab and that will give you free signals. So yeah, so let's get into BTC. Now that I can see that all of you guys are there, it's like this is the most people commenting that I've had for ages. So maybe I should just start with no sound or no volume and you can just go, I can't hear you. So yeah. So, okay. Now you can tell it's live because it's just always something goes wrong. Now this is Bitcoin and it's on my 74,400 that I've been talking about forever, and all of a sudden we're here and it's green. So fingers crossed. Now, if you know BlackRock and Jamie there, who's been selling massive amounts of Bitcoin, if he can just start buying now, that would be really nice. We don't need to push it down to 69. The pattern can go there, but this is a nice place to bounce it because this takes us a lot higher from here. Like obviously the lower we go, it's going to struggle to get a bit higher. So it would be really nice. Now this is a 4 hour. I'm going to bring it up to a daily and we can have a look because we had some pretty important closes today. We've still got MACD is still showing lots of sell pressure. We're getting on the daily, we're sort of seeing smaller candles, indecision. That normally means there's a potential change. It doesn't always mean it's right now. It could be, like I said, dropping down to as low as 69. We don't want it to drop below that previous high because that would be bad. That cancels out a couple of different patterns and that puts us in a very bearish pattern. So it also breaks the neckline, which will take us quite lower. So yeah, so if we're looking at a lot of the indicators, we're really low, we're really oversold on the RSI, on the stock RSI. We've still got sell pressure on the MACD. But when we go down to the lower time frames on, say, 4 hour, which we were just on, we can see that that sell pressure is easing. We're starting to get a bounce on all of these indicators. We've got bullish divergence coming in on these indicators. So we need to just watch that sort of move up through the time frames and see where this is going. Now, with wave count, potentially we've got, if we did a WXY. Now, I know you guys always go, okay, she's talking this Elliott wave stuff again. Now, that's a really specific pattern, again, which can take us up from here. We do have enough waves. We've got an A, a B, and a C. So we could have our W, X, Y, Z happening. So let's draw that out. Oops, missed the Z wave. Wait 2 secs. Wrong one. Double combo. Here we go. Y coming down for the Z. Now, okay, ignore that. It's not working for me today. So it doesn't like me. If we're looking at this range and we're going, okay, let's put some fibs on this. We've got some really nice momentum heading down. So this gives us the 1.236. So that's a nice pullback at that range. Take that off. We don't need that on anymore. So we can essentially bounce here. We get some volume in. We get, some momentum. The next step is where we sort of go through those pivots and we need to start checking. So we're going to have a pivot down at 78. We're going to have a pivot down at 83. And then we're going to have that next pivot at 88. So that's going to be, quite a major pivot because that's a directional pivot, that 88 one. And then once we get up through those levels, if we get there, hopefully we do, because this is like the market is getting more and more angry. So it's like, just sit on your hands and be patient and just wait. But yeah, it's just, and Bitcoin, Ethereum looks way worse than Bitcoin. But it's also, if you remember, I had this WXY pivot last week, and it's just there, sitting there on the pivot. I don't make the rules. So we do have, this is a daily chart on ETH, and we do have stock RSI starting to turn up. The standard RSI is really oversold. And on the lower time frames, as I showed you on BTC, we have easing sell pressure on these. So that indicates there's a bounce. Then we need to look at the pivots, whether they're breaking through like complete wave levels, and see where the market's going, because this is not sort of, it's quite red out there. So, and there was somebody in the DSIC chat that just said that she thinks the market's broken, it only goes red. So it's felt like that. It's literally felt like that, because this has just been, we get this tiny little bounce and then we get more red, tiny little bounce, then more red. So hopefully that changes and we don't get a long bear market like we saw sort of, 2018, 2019, because that was grueling. And that would not be ideal. So Ethereum, obviously it is on a pivot. We'd love it to hold there, but it can go all the way down. And there's a potential, this channel sits at about 1533. So it could go all the way down to there. So yeah, if this pattern changes and it goes to an A, B, C, D, E, instead of that pattern that I just showed you. So, and we start getting A, B, C, D, E. Now this could go all the way down. So that's the potential on Ethereum. So it may not be over yet. We may get a temporary bounce. Ethereum's got a couple of upper pivots. The major one that we want to break in this move upwards would be 2787. So keep that in mind for if Ethereum does get a bounce soon, that's where we want to break. And, you know, that sets a new pattern and we're in the new direction. So right now, we're also looking at this USDT dominance chart that I keep telling you guys that I didn't want it to break 7.53, where they're touching it, like it's right there touching. So that is not where we want to be. The good news on this chart is that this is daily and it's got bearish divergence and it's over. It's sitting at about 80 on this chart. When it gets to about there on the RSI, it normally has a major pullback. So that's our only saving grace right now for this USDT dominance chart, that potentially this is coming down. So ideally, I'd like to see it come back down and test this previous breakout region. And then, you know, a couple of tests on it, and then it keeps going down and dies. So we might see that sort of testing out in this region and going up and down. And that's when we'll see crypto and some of the alts probably bouncing. So like to just explain the seesaw effect. So people come out of USDT, they're buying crypto, comes back down, tests, and then it's like, oops, we've hit a resistance, we come back up. And it's like, oops, we've hit a support on crypto, oops, we come back up. So that sort of thing. And by that point, we would like it to break down. So if we're looking at BTC, perhaps we're coming up and we're retesting this broken support, or we're coming up to this previous channel resistance and we're testing those regions. So for like the one step back, 2 steps forward sort of thing. So we're going up, we're coming back, we're breaking through, retesting, and then maybe there. And then at this point, it's like, okay, are we becoming super bearish? Was this just a relief bounce? And, you know, BlackRock go, okay, we're announcing we're selling 500 billion worth of Bitcoin again. And then it's like, okay, we sit on this for a little bit and maybe we go down to 69. Ideally, we want this to hold, this 74,400-ish region. We want that to hold. That confirms this pattern as a one wave and this as the second wave, and then we're going into a third primary. So a third of a third, which is the most explosive wave. So if we can look at how much money has come out of the market, and we're at this point where we're going, okay, look how much money has like come out since October. So we had our high, and then we've gone, okay, so we were at, you know, 4.27 trillion, and all of a sudden we're at 2.55 trillion. That's like $1.8 trillion out of the market. Now, that doesn't go like, it might have circled into gold, it might have circled into silver. You know, there's not like a infinite supply of money. Like, they do print it from time to time, but it's not how it works. So that money sort of moves from different markets. So sometimes people just sit on their hands, but more often than not, they're getting a call from their Wall Street broker and they're like, hello. And they're like, yep, I'll have some gold, I'll have some silver, maybe I'll have some platinum. As my phone rings, and then all of a sudden they're in something different, and then they're selling off, and they're like, well, okay, we've just completely killed stocks, we've completely killed metals. We've killed AI. We've killed MAGA. We've killed everything. So then they go, okay, is there enough fear in the market? So are people like leaving the market? And that's when they take it absolutely to the moon. So when you guys are ready to walk away, when the diehards are ready to walk away, that's when the whales step in and they go, okay, this is a wave 3 of 3, let them have it. And by that stage, you guys are like, Bitcoin is now like 76 and you could have bought it at 74,400, but you were too scared because it might go down lower. So at this point, you could be like taking little bites and dollar cost averaging back in on a lot of different sort of, you know, coins, tokens, all your favorites that have strength usually. So because we're getting to those regions where these indicators are saying this is a reversal coming. Maybe we've got one more wave down, maybe we don't. But at this point in time, they are so oversold that even a small bounce, you're going to get some profit. Because if this goes into a wave 3 of 3, you guys are not going to know what happened, because by the time you get, you know, you wake up wherever you are in the world and it's back up at 90K and you're like, oh, damn, I had the opportunity to buy at 74 when there was so much fear in the market. We buy the red, we buy the fear, and then we sell the euphoria. We sell all the hype when people start telling you how much money they've made, how rich they are. That's when you start selling. So when there's so much anger, and I know I've been saying this for a bit, but like there's bounces along the way. So, and there was a point in at getting started in crypto where this didn't hit pivots. And I said, okay, cool, we're going down. And G6 signals in there opened a short. But, you know, this is just how the market works. We go, okay, what's the available data that I have right at this point of time? So, and for me, this is getting close to a reversal. Like maybe one more wave down, maybe not, but we're on a really important pivot at the moment, which is going to show whether, you know, we get places like BlackRock and big Wall Street firms coming in and going, okay, it's time to buy. But I've just got this feeling they might push it down one more time. So hopefully not, but it's looking that way. So if we go, DXY has had that drop. It's had a little bit of a bounce. It still looks likely to head down lower. With all the tariff stuff and everything that's happening, it has not quite completed this. It's still got more waves in this wave pattern, so it should go down and hit that 94K range. Bitcoin dominance continues to hold this channel. It's been holding here for such a long time. So this is from June 22. So it dropped out for a little tiny bit and it's way back in. So that is nice. But yeah, so we just need a little bit of volume to come back in. And I know I keep saying tether prints, but I think it's going to be a little bit more concealed than that. I think because so much money came out of the market, there's a few big players sitting with a lot of money ready to sort of allocate somewhere. And we might see a couple of alts explode first, but let's just see where that leaves us this week. Because the other thing that we're seeing as well is a lot of the BTC paired charts are showing that they are like on supports. So when that is happening, that means we're about to get a move. So it means that BTC might move first, these might move down and just touch that support, and then all of a sudden the rest of the market is going. So keep an eye on those. This ETH chart is might have one more wave down, but it has got strong bullish divergence and the MACD is curling up. So I don't think we're far away from turning. Like short, low time frames are starting to show a little bit of movement. So, and the indicators are really congesting up. So that does have some sort of, like, when we do the count here, we've got 5 waves. So yeah, and we're above those pivots. So we want to keep holding those pivots. We want to keep moving and just retesting those levels now, because we've come back down the whole way and haven't retested a hell of a lot of levels as we were coming down. So sometimes they don't get retested until we go back into a bull market. But I would say likely we are, drawing up there, we're looking at these indicators and they're starting to move. So just keep an eye on those for now. And don't forget, free scalp signals if you got caught in that and you got liquidated, because lots of money's come out of the money, lots of liquidations over the last couple of days. So make sure you join, head to Getting Started in Crypto and join there. But yeah, and if you're watching the replay, apologies for the first few minutes where I don't know what happened. It just didn't have any sound. I tested the sound beforehand, but it's okay now. So yeah. Now I am in Paris on the weekend for WeX. If you are in and around Paris, check out, I'll put the event up there and you can come and say hi. So, but nice to see lots and lots and lots of people in there. Liz, Paul, Crypto Light, Eduardo, KJS, who else? I got Robert Walker. Lots and lots of people telling me that I didn't have any sound. So it's nice to see you. And don't forget to smash that like button so other people can see this and come and say hi. So yeah, there we go. I think that's about it. I'm not going to look at alts. They've actually absolutely like melted down. So we're just going to put the blinkers on for now and pretend that they're all okay and they're all on supports. But be super cautious in this region until we do get a complete reversal. I do think it's a time to start taking small bites out of BTC. I do think we're going to get a bounce soon. And yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment. So yeah, fingers crossed this level holds at 74,400 and we hold that previous low and we go into that 3 of 3 soon. So yeah, thank you for joining me, everyone, and I will catch you from Paris next week. Bye.